Hey everybody, welcome back. I was super surprised to see Kershaw has a factory special series. Made in the USA, in Oregon, pretty awesome. So I picked one of these up. I want to show it to you. We also may have a little something special as an add-on when we're done checking this knife out. But very surprised, the Kershaw Leek, made in the USA. Now this is the 1660 D gray for dark gray. So open this one up, but as you can see, made in the USA. Don't get that on a lot of their knives, which, you know, they do what they do. But let's see what's in the box. We'll pull that off to the side real quick. We don't get to see this too often on my channel. Important information from Kershaw about your new Kershaw knife. So all sorts of fun stuff. This opens up. Woohoo! It covers, it's kind of a generic one. It covers many of their knives. This Leek is an assisted knife. So we will go ahead and put this off to the side up here. But look at the finish on that one. And I have to say the blade is even very much just as cool. Kind of a digi camo look. Got the pocket clip on this side. Now it is right or left-handed carry from what I was told. But I don't see this one having pocket clip holes on the other side. So it's going to be right-handed tip-up carry. Now on the Kershaw Leek series, they include the lanyard fans. I know a lot of you are lanyard fans, but they also have, since this one is assisted and kind of a flipper, they include a little lock, a manual lock. So if you flip that down, that knife blade is not going to come out. So pretty cool that they do that on the Leek series. Just a manual lock, but assisted. Look at the finish on that. It just makes it pretty perfect. I really like this. I really like this. There's only one thing I'm not a huge fan of, but we will actually address that at the very end. But let's cover some stats on this factory special series. Now, the Leek is a Ken Onion design, and you can see some of the information there. They got the US flag, the Ken Onion design, the model number. They had all sorts of billboarding there on it. And then that beautiful finish as I drop the knife. But luckily, safety first. We have the area clear, and we have first aid available as needed. It does have a little stop pin thumb studs right here. So you can technically deploy it with these thumb studs. Pretty rad. And they're, notched out in the handles for it. Now the handles themselves, they are a 410 stainless steel. The blade on this Leek, 3 inches. It is a steel, a 14C28N blade steel. The thickness on that, 0.09 of an inch. Very slim. The Leek series, very awesome. Now, I want your opinion. Drop point, Warncliffe. A cliff point. I don't know. A worn drop. A drop worn. Let me know what you think on this one. I haven't had a lot of Kershaws in the collection, as you know, but I want your opinion overall. Now, coated bead blast is what the finishes you get on this blade steel. And then, of course, they put a nice coating with a digi camo. I love that. It's beautiful. Lanyard fans can rejoice, as we talked about. Now, close. This one's 4 inches. Overall, 7 inches. And you just have to do a little tiny slide on that flipper, and that assisted opening fires it right out. So pretty cool. We'll take a look at a couple knives that we're familiar with and see what we got on this one. Now, this is a liner lock, and it's a little stiff to push in because of the assist. So you're loading that spring up inside. But USA made, about $100, $125. Not too shabby. Overall, let's compare it to a couple of our favorites and see what we get out of it. Now, we could obviously put a big, ginormous knife up there, but that's not the point. So let's get a Spyderco Para 3, something comparable from Spyderco. We'll put it up there. You can see size difference, comparison on that one. The Leek is, of course, going to be much thinner of a knife, as you can tell, and same with the blade thickness. Now, let's go with one of our classics, and that is the Benchmade Bug Out. Good size comparison overall. What do you think about that comparison? Now, I do have to say, thickness-wise, I think the Bug Out has a beat, or it's very, very comparable. Blade steel is going to be a little thicker on the Bug Out, but pocket clip. Kershaw wins on the pocket clip size of this one. I guess maybe they wanted to really be secure in your pocket since it's off-centered, screw holes, which, I don't know, it's just that, their design, their love on it. And let's do one more comparison just because it's, Zach, his love for the 940. Some of you guys might say, wow, look at that one. That one's been used quite a bit. Okay. But that's the comparison to the Benchmade 940. Obviously, going to be a little bit smaller and thinner than the 940 even. So, now, what can I say about this one? I've only carried it a couple short periods because I wanted to keep it nice for this video before we, start carrying it and having some love. But very pointy, very, very slicey. And I do want your opinion on that shape of that blade. Now, is there anything we could do to make it a little bit better? How about something from our good friends at Lynch Northwest? Now, this is a bead blasted one. It's not going to match 100%, but it's going to be close. We may have to swap it out for a black one eventually because the black one might go a little bit better. But let's take a peek. Let's open this up. I'll put a link down in the description where you can find these clips if you do have a, Kershaw Leek and you want to support and also pick up one of these screws. But you can see the design and the off-centerness of it. And I really want to check it out on this Leek and see how it compares. And hopefully you can see right here the bead blast of this. Lynch Northwest, always doing a wonderful job. And they also include a little package. Spare screws. They should work great, the OEM screws. But these are just provided just in case you need them. And the other really cool thing they do is if you don't have any tools, they give you just a little tiny wrench. And you can see the extra screws in there. So we'll put the screw back in there to be safe. And we'll use the provided little wrench, And we'll see how that works. So safety first, we're going to close this up. We're going to lock that blade. And then we're going to do a little, see how it works to take this apart. And like I said, I may have to, honestly, pick up the black one. Because I think the black one might work a little bit better. I kind of was going off of, the color online instead of, waiting till it got here. And it might match some of the grays in here. We'll see, but it might be a little too light. So these work well to break these loose. Doesn't feel like there's too much Loctite on these screws. There is a little bit on them that we can see because some of it fell out of there. But it does have a little tiny bit. It's probably hard to tell, but there is a little tiny bit on there. So let's see how this one's going to line up. You can see the two holes right here. These are going to line up like this. And you can see how there's a little bit of a gap. So I think it's going to push down for a really good, solid, snug fit. But you can always adjust that. So it does make the knife look a little bit different. Color-wise, it does match some of the lighter colors that are in there. But yeah, let's give it a whirl. Let's check it out. So I think this one's going to be quite the trick because getting that screw fitted in that center hole. But we have a little bit of an advantage to use this one. Now, this is where I think if you do have a toolkit, which I have a couple nearby, but I was like, let's try the included tool, right? So thanks for sticking around on this one and watching the clip install. And then I'd like your opinion, what you think of it. Okay, so we'll slide this over. Ooh, it's going to have a really good, let's see if we can do that again. It's going to be really, really strong. Now, I'm going to use one of my flashlights here Shout out to Olight. I want to make sure that hole is lined up 100%, which it is not yet. There we go. Now it's 100% lined up. And you can see it's how it kind of rides off to the side a little bit, but I think that it's going to carry really well. So I will definitely give you a little update on that one, probably in the upcoming live stream, so check that out as well. So we're going to mount this one onto the little wrench and see if we can give it a whirl and get it into that hole without too much trouble. It is mounted in the hole. That's cool. It's kind of got that little window through the clip, which also gives it a little design. So they put a little Torx look to it. And I'm not getting a little bit of bite to it. Now this is where it's going to test that wrench, because we may have to use the harder side, but it's snugged up there really well. So let's see if we can use this side. Yep, it's got plenty of height. Always thinking of the, the important things there at Lynch, just to make sure it's tight. And we'll go back through, depending on if I get the black one or not. We'll go back through and do some Loctite on it if we get the black clip. But what do you think of that? I think that's kind of a cool look. I think I might go black with the clip. We'll see. We'll test it out. But your lock feature, still accessible. Very, very awesome knife. For the price, USA made, I would have liked to see like maybe CPM 154 blade steel, but 14C28N has some good properties to it. And as thin, slicey, and pointy as this one is, I think it'll hold up pretty well. So anyways, make sure to leave me a comment down below with blade shape thoughts on it. And also, remember, hashtag DSKFS, do something kind for someone. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for liking and subscribing. And we will talk to you on the next one. But most importantly, take care.